Okay, thank you guys for tuning in today. My name is Diana D for Dynamite. Yeah, and I'm so glad you guys could join us today. And we're going to have an awesome 90 minutes and hope you can share and we can just engage more with each other. So I'm currently in China, and as you see, our topic today is self love, red for love. Yeah, so before we continue, I'm just going to surprise you guys. See, what am I holding? I'm holding a mirror.
Mirror.
Just have you ever wake up in the morning and just look at yourself in the mirror like, I love you, I love you to yourself? Just that connection with yourself. I love you. I love you, me. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to share this story about this young lady who is currently in China. So the story just started like this. Early this year, 2020, as you know, a lot has been happening in 2020. So this young lady woke up one morning so late. Just imagine how her bed was so messed up. She walked up straight to the window. Her curtains were gray. She just opened them up so wide and looked outside. Then she realized everything is so quiet. People are not walking around. It was really, really quiet. And the lady could remember just outside her apartment, she used to see a lot of ship. It's a shipping company, so she used to see a lot of movement. But this morning, she woke up and there were no movement. People are not moving around. Then she was like, oh, what is happening? She went to her phone because she doesn't usually take her phone in the morning. She does just get up and take her phone when she wake up. So she went back to her phone and look, and she realized there's something going on in the world. People are not supposed to go out. That's why the shipping company behind her apartment is quiet. So then she got a notification from one of her colleagues like, we're not supposed to go out for the next few weeks, maybe few months. Do you know what came to her mind? Like, what is going to happen? Can you imagine being in an apartment alone for the next few weeks or maybe few months? But at the moment, she was like, oh, this is a great opportunity for me to just relax and maybe, catch up with all my TV series I've been watching. So the lady was so happy for the first day. She went, she got her tea. She was like, oh, yeah, she's a tea girl. So she was just drinking her tea. The first day she enjoyed, she just watched all the movies she ever dreamed of. She was like, I don't have anything to worry about. I'm not going to wake up to go to work tomorrow. Yes, something is happening in the world, but this is the time for me to just relax. So she started watching her series, and the first day passed. Second day, same thing. She woke up to the window, look outside, it's still quiet. She can't see the shipping company moving up and down. She's like, what is happening? Third day and the fourth day, she started getting worried because now she has watched all her series. She has made all calls for people who she never had time to call. But now, what again is left? What can she do? Then she realized for so many years she has just having this kind of busy schedule of going out, having work, but now this is the fourth day. She has done all the things she couldn't do on her like the things she planned to do on her free time. She has finished everything. Now she realized like, what can I do? I have nothing to do. I have, like, if it's family, I've talked to my family, then what can I do? Then that's when she realized, like, again, for so many years, she has always just been person to go out. She has always have this busy schedule, and she has always have so much love to give to other people. And now she's like looking at her phone, like, no one is texting me. All the people I wanted to talk to, I've already talked to. Huh? No one is texting me. I miss you. Oh, how are you? Then that's when she realized, I think I need to find myself because all these years It has just been me and work or me and family, but now I'm alone in my apartment. How am I going to make connection with myself? So she asked herself, how am I going to understand myself more? How am I going to show myself appreciation? Because she felt like now is the time for her to make good connection with herself, time for her to understand herself more. But she just didn't know how to start. How is she going to start? Yeah, she look at herself in the mirror every day. She know this is my face, this is my nose, but what can she do to make connection with herself? Because now everyone is busy, or you cannot meet your friends because just inside the apartment, you cannot go outside. That's when she realized, I really need to make connection with myself. How can I find time to enjoy me alone? How can I find time to just make that deep connection with myself? That's when she now realized, like, what are some things I can do? How can I now start expressing the things I've always wanted, the things I want people to tell me, the things I've always been doing to people? Now, how can I start doing those things to myself? Then on like maybe 2 weeks now, fourth day, let's go to 2 weeks. One of the 2 weeks, she couldn't get up in the morning because now she just realized I cannot do anything. If it's the TV shows I've watched, if it's calling family, I've done it, everything. If it's just to look in the mirror, trying all the clothes I've never tried already, what can I do? That morning, she woke up, she cried all day. She couldn't do anything because she cannot do anything. Like, she just feel like she has done everything. What can she do? She spent the whole day in bed crying, like, now I cannot make connection with anyone. But then the next day she woke up, she realized I cannot be crying on bed. No one is here to save me. Now, how can I save myself? She started reading, go on YouTube, how to cope up with loneliness, how to cope up, how to enjoy your alone time. But still, she was not finding, because all the solutions she was finding there, it was working for other people, but it was not working for her. Then she realized, like, I need to start loving myself. I need to start enjoying the alone time. She planned this 7-day challenge, and she was like, I'm going to start doing this challenge day 1 to day 7, and I want to see how I'm going to feel after this challenge. So she started the day 1 challenge. I'm not going to go into details what the challenges was. I'll share that at the end of the session, so stay tuned. So she started doing day 1, day 2, day 3. She was like, I'm becoming a new person. How come I'm just waking up in the morning like, I love you, I love you? And she just kept going. So day 6, day 7, she realized now she's a new person, and she has done a lot to change herself. And she just saw how she connected with her inner self. She saw how much she could give love to herself. And she just realized it's not all the time we just have to wait for people to tell us, like, I love you, or I miss you, or I want to talk to you. So she just asked herself, like, now I need to make time for myself. And after the 7 days challenge, she felt so good. Like, she could just feel the connection with herself. She could do so much with herself. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I hope you guys will be able to understand and gain something from self-love. And at the end of the session, you're going to know who this lady is. Maybe you know already. So let's see. I'm going to share the PPT with you guys, and we're going to start. But what do you understand when you hear self-love? When you hear self-love, what do you understand? Does any of you guys want to try? When you hear self-love, what do you understand when you hear self-love?
I think self-love is to protect yourself first, because sometimes
Good.
you have to know what is good for you and what is bad for you, and you can choose what you do in your daily life. Spend your time wisely and do something that is good for yourself, for your health, your self-improvement, things like that.
Yes. Wow, thank you. I think that's great shares. Does anyone have idea again? That was great. Thank you, Eri.
You're welcome.
Does anyone want to share what? Yes, Raquel?
For me, self-love is accepting who you are. So knowing yourself and accepting who you are.
Thank you. That is great. Thank you for sharing. Does anyone want to share again? I think this is really great. What do you understand when you hear self-love?
For me, when I feel tired,
yes,
I'll just give myself time to take care of myself. Even if I have to take care of I know that I need to take care of someone else, but I also need to take care of myself. And if I make the priority to me, then it's self-love. But sometimes the balance a little bit tricky. Sometimes my mind is asking me, are you selfish or are you doing this? Is this self-love or selfish?
Great. That's a great thing, because that's one of the things I wanted to share today, Yijang. Like people thinking, I'm going to ask, do you think self-love is selfish? That was great, Yijang. Why do you think people think self-love is selfish? Does anyone have an idea why people think self-love is selfish? Or I can say, is putting yourself first selfish? Yes, Yijang?
For me, I grew up in China, and in China, as a kid, we are taught, educated that you need to put your other people in the front, put your family members in the front, or put your classmates or any kind of people in the front. Self-sacrifice is beautiful, and this is the right thing to do. And if you don't do that, it's selfish.
Okay, so I think I can just add to that. I would say self-love is not selfish, because putting yourself first does not mean you ignore everyone in the world, does not mean you don't care about anyone. It's just that when people hear the word self, they just, because of misconception, they just say, oh, it's selfish. So, but what about when you hear self-respect? Why you don't say that is selfish? Why only self-love has to be selfish? Or self-esteem, why only self-love has to be selfish? And I would say self-love is not selfish because you don't ignore people around you. It does not mean they're not important, but it's just you trying to put yourself first, you trying to connect with yourself, knowing that you're valuable, you're worthy. That's what I can say, that self-love is not selfish. So thank you for bringing that. That was awesome. Yes, Adrian?
I don't know if it's like my boy background, my family ex-military background, or Australian background, but I always thought self-love was for girls. Or for gay people, or for fairies, you know, like we just didn't go anywhere near that kind of stuff. And it was not just family first, but it was like family and everything else first, and nation first, and self-love kind of like was like what last, if ever. And even after starting the NLP and stuff, it was still like, in the background, this perhaps a book in the bookshelf, but it was like in the bottom of the dark corner.
So Adrian, I'm going to ask you a question, like from how you started saying, like you always thought like when you hear self-love, it's about girls or just this particular kind of people. So how about now? How do you feel now when you hear self-love? How do you feel now?
Now it brings a smile to my face. But it took a long time.
That's great.
It took a long time. It took a long time. It shouldn't have taken this long. It shouldn't have.
Yes. So,
Right.
yes.
Yeah. Just now, I thought self-love is not
Mm.
selfish, because I think when you love yourself, you make yourself better, and then you talk with others, you are together with others, and if you are better, you can influence others. So I think in this world, no one is separated. We are one. Have some connections. So if you love yourself, and if you are doing some in some way you love others at the same time. So when you love others, and after some time, the love will come back to yourself. So I think that's why I think self-love is not selfish.
Thank you, Ray. Yeah, I would say the same. Self-love is not selfish. Just imagine if you cannot love yourself enough, how sure are you're going to love someone else and say you're going to make connection with someone else because you don't love yourself enough? And why are you expecting someone to come and say, I love you? Why don't you do that to yourself?
Yeah, yes.
Great. So like about maybe 1 year ago, or I think early 2019, Adrian shared something with me, which I've been working on it, and it has really been amazing. We're just going to do this little exercise. I'll do first and you guys can do on your own time, or we can do together. So relax. And we are going to breathe in, I love you. And you say that to yourself. I love you. And breathe out, say thank you. Breathe in, I love you.
I love you.
And breathe out, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. You know, guys, our body do a lot of things for us, a lot of things, but taking time to just appreciate ourselves, telling ourselves, thank you, I love you. It's a great thing. If you try to practice this, thank you,
Thank you.
I love you. I love you, or I love you, thank you, both ways, okay. With time, you see you're getting deeper connection with yourself. I love you. Thank you. Just you can try to do this many times and you see how you're getting deeper connection with yourself just by appreciating, even just our nose, how many things does our nose smell? So just this kind of just simple appreciation, because we always want people to appreciate us, but do we appreciate ourselves? Do we tell ourselves thank you? Do we tell ourselves I love you? So I'm going to share something here. So oftentimes we see what is self-love? It's the belief you hold that you're valuable and a worthy person. I think valuable and worthy is very important. Once you know that you're a valuable person, you know you're a worthy person, do you think someone will just come and tell you, hey, you look ugly, and you cry? Because you know already you are valuable, you are worthy. So I think this is one of the main things about self-love, which I love to review many times, knowing that I'm valuable, I'm worthy. No one can tell me anything because I love myself. Okay, so we often have thoughts like, I'll take a break and focus on myself after I've taken care of my family. Imagine you telling yourself like, oh, I have so many things going on right now. I'm going to take a break later after I've taken care of my family. Do you think this is the right way of taking care of yourself? How sure are you're going to be fully paying attention to your family because you're not taking care of yourself? You're not in a good state of mind. Let's read the next one.
I'm afraid I won't be able to change.
Yes, I'm afraid I won't be able to change. Oh, what is self-love? No, I cannot start loving myself now. I'm too old to do that. No. I cannot change. I just want people to love me now. I will love myself later. I'm not gonna change. So we have thoughts like this. And let's read the next thought.
I notice.
Oh, yeah, I think many of us have this thought. It's like, I know this relationship is not good for me, but I don't want to be alone. So you find yourself stuck in kind of situation just because you're scared of being alone. You know that this is not good for you. Maybe the job, maybe your boyfriend, maybe your wife, but you know this is not good for you. But just because of that fear of being alone, you are like, okay, let me just hang in here and see what's gonna happen because I'm not ready to be alone. And let's read the last thought. Yeah. Yeah, so this is very interesting because I feel like some people they have this busy schedule, and like you'll be like, oh man, I've been surviving on 5 hours of sleep for years, so it can't be bad. Like, what is self-love? Why should I now start sleeping well? Why should I start taking care of myself now? I've been doing this for years. So we often have thoughts like this. Adrian, you can stop sharing. Thank you. So we often have thoughts like this. So I would like you guys to hear from you guys. Have you ever had kind of these thoughts which are stopping you from loving yourself? Have you had these kind of thoughts we just shared? For me, I had the last one because I'm like, if I can sleep about 5 hours, like why saying I should take some time to have more rest, because 5 hours is okay for me. So this is one of the thoughts I've been having for years before I start practicing self-love. Does any of you guys have this kind of negative thoughts which has been stopping you from practicing self-love? Raquel, would you like to share? Yeah.
Sure. One of the ones that I used to tell is like, and it isn't that bad, and the effort that will take to get me there, it's just not worth it. So I'll just keep my life like it is. It isn't that bad, and I would convince myself that I was feeling better than what I was, just so I didn't have the effort to go for it.
Oh, thank you, Raquel. Anyone else would like to share about how they've been having these kind of thoughts and stopping themselves from? Oh, Ray, yes.
Yes, I would like to share my story. Before, I believed that it was very difficult to change myself because, especially your habits, your personality, and your character, I thought it was very, very difficult because it's from your childhood, your family. But recently, I took some action, some practice. You know, if you do something not good, you can practice in the opposite way to form the good habits. So the more you do, the more you will feel you can do it. So now I have more confidence. It is possible to change yourself as a person.
Thank you, Ray. Anyone else would like to share?
Hi.
Yes, I think grow with me, Kula.
Hi. My name is X. Sorry. I'm kind of on the road a little bit, so no video for me. But I think one of the things that I've noticed is being in mental health. So I sort of facilitate and help other people with mental health themselves. And so what you find is that when you're teaching something, it's one of those traps that you get yourself into because you think to yourself, well, if I'm teaching other people how to do this, I should know how to do it. And so even when you're having a really, really tough time, you almost get yourself into this lie or this bubble that you have everything under control. You know how to fix things. You know how to do things. And so learning how to be able to say, even as a mental health teacher or trainer, I'm still human enough to make mistakes. I'm still human enough to slip up, even with all the things that I know, you know, that I've used and I've taught other people, and they've had such great success. It's always something to really take time to understand that and appreciate that aspect of things.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for sharing. That's great. I think you wanted to share something?
Yes, I like to share the conversation with between my parents, and that really affected me a lot in my childhood. I always hear my mom complain to my dad, like, why do you do this? You are so selfish. You only think about you. You never think about me. That
Yes. Mm.
when I hear that, I tell myself, I cannot do this. I should put someone, family members, other people in front of me. They are the priority. If I'm put myself the priority, I will get blamed like this. And this is really powerful education.
Yeah, I think I can connect with you from where most of us backgrounds, like putting yourself first. It comes out as selfish because most people don't understand, like, how can you put yourself first? Why you don't care about me? But it's just that people don't understand putting yourself first does not mean you ignore other people. Does not mean you don't care about other people. So from what we are learning about self-love, guys, do you know why self-love is so important to us? Does anyone have an idea why self-love is so important? Why am I here talking about self-love? Why do you think self-love is important in our daily life?
Because
Adrian? Yes, E?
because we need to take care of ourselves first before taking care of other people. For example, if it's a family and you really in a relationship, if you really don't want to be with that person, even if you have kids, lots of cases like the parents will stick together because of the kids. They don't want to hurt the kids. But if because of this they stick together and they're not happy, then it's still gonna affect the kids. It's the same. It's gonna be lots of quarrel or fighting in that family. The same thing, like if we are not taking care of ourselves, we will have bad effect to other people. So taking care of ourselves is really important.
Thank you, E. Thank you, E. Adrian, you wanted to share something?
Yeah,
Why do you think self-love is important? Yeah?
I've never seen this in any of the books or literature yet. But you know, we have these unconscious biases that play in our head. I suspect if someone has an abundance of self-love, an abundance of love, this would affect the biases. And if they have a lack of self-love, that'll also affect the biases naturally. So if there is a relationship with two people and one person isn't high on self-love, they're liable, you know, this person can be saying very nice stuff, but they're liable to take a lot of stuff personally and negatively due to the lack of self-love. Whereas if both people have an abundance of self-love, then whenever they say things, they're more likely to be taking them positively and going up. And so it's probably, there's a good point raised before, it's probably extra important for anyone mental health coaches and trainers and that to have it as well. Yeah, I'm sure that lack of self-love or an abundance of self-love would affect the confirmation bias and all those different biases, those labels.
Thank you. Yeah, I would add to Adrian's point. I think if many people are aware of self-love, I feel like mental health will come down because many people are aware. Suicide, people will not have that need of maybe expecting so many things from other people. Even divorces, I feel like the rate of divorce will come down if people have self-love. That's why I think self-love is so important, because I feel like if you have good relationship with yourself, you can easily connect with your family. You can easily forgive someone because you know having that grudge in your heart is just going to hurt you more. So I feel like having that self-love is easy for you to forgive people. It's easy for you to connect. It's Maria is saying it seems like self-love is a basement of self-confidence and self-esteem. Yes, That's really great, because once you have self-love, it means you're confident in yourself. You have high self-esteem, and someone cannot just come and comment on how you look, comment on how maybe you have dressed, on how you talk, because you believe yourself, you love yourself enough. So you're not giving chance someone to just come and just destroy that peace with you. And I feel the relationship with our family, friends, can develop more and be better when we have that kind of connection with ourselves. So that's why I myself think self-love is really important. Does anyone agree or disagree? Good. So guys, I'm going to show this example. Adrian, please, can you share the next slide? I'm going to tell an amazing story about a girl, a boy, and a baby. Okay. So we have a girl here. Oh, she looks so familiar. I think I know her. And we have a boy. Oh, he looks familiar too. So we can see the girl loves the boy. Like, you know how girls love the boy. And the boy also loves the girl. And the boy also loves the girl. So we can see this is a normal relationship we're familiar with. The boy loves the girl loves the boy. You can see they look happy. The girl looks so happy. I don't know what's wrong with the boy, but they both look happy because of their relationship. You can see they all seem happy because they love each other. Now, after years of being together or something, now things start coming up, like we have work to do, and they get a baby too. Yes, they get a baby. Adrian, yes, they get a baby. Oh, so cute baby. They have a baby. So just imagine now, do you know what's going to happen? Like, now the baby is here. The boy, the girl, what do you think is going to happen to their relationship? So, okay, let's see what's going to happen to their relationship.
Gonna become a family?
Yes, they are family already.
A nice, happy love triangle where they all love each other and live happily ever after.
Let me tell you guys what's going to happen next. You see now, Adrian, press the next button. So you can see now, the girl now, she puts all her love to her baby. Oh, my baby, I carried my baby for 9 months. Oh my God. Guys, my baby is here. My baby needs to eat. I need to take my baby to the pediatrician. I need to feed my baby. And the boy also is like, oh, my baby is here. He's a baby girl. Everyone see, my wife did a great job. My wife did a great job. You can see here, you can see this kind of triangle. You can see the baby is getting love from mom and dad. Dad is still loving baby and mom. So who is loving dad now?
The
Can you
baby
imagine who is
loves.
loving dad? The
Yeah,
baby is
it's
getting love
realistic, yeah.
from.
Baby loving dad, mom is loving dad too?
Yeah, I've seen this over and over and over again. Yeah, well, look, the girl loves the boy, but all her attention's on the baby because it's a newborn baby, and and she's got
Baby
the
needs to
boy and
eat.
maybe a rock, and maybe she's got maybe the boy, the house, the baby. She's got all that. So now where all the love's going to the baby. What about the boy?
You can see, because mom now have all her attention to the baby, and I feel like this is maybe a mistake most women do. When we have baby, we put all the love to our baby. We forget who gave us the baby. And dad, because I feel like most dads will still have love the wife and still love the baby. Now just imagine, next slide, Adrian. Now just imagine if the boy loves the girl and the girl loves the boy. What do you think is going to happen to the baby when the baby grows up? Like, see, mom love dad, dad love mom. what do you think the baby is going to grow up and see?
The baby will see having a family is a happiness.
Yes, thank you, because baby can see both mom and dad are loving each other. So baby will grow up and see this kind of awesome family, like, oh, I see mom kissing dad. Just this kind of, oh, I'm seeing mom and dad going out for dinner. But do you think what will happen, Adrian? Do you think what will happen
I think that baby's going to grow up in a house full of love, and the baby's going to see all the love, and it's not like the baby's going to go hungry, because the boy and the girl will have more energy, you know, and they'll be able to look after the baby better.
Yeah. Now, do you have any idea if now the girl can love herself more and the boy can love herself more? Do you think what's going to happen to their relationship if the girl know, wow, I'm valuable, I'm worthy, I'm confident, and the boy knows the same thing, I'm valuable, I'm worthy? What's going to happen to their relationship? Adrian, next slide, please.
I think
They go back to the
I
baby.
think
Yes, Ray.
the boy and the girl, because they love themselves, they become more confident and they have more attraction, and so I think the whole family will be a very safe place, and the baby will feel very safe and feel very free, because he see everybody loves himself, so he will maybe try to learn how to love herself at the very beginning when she's a kid.
Thank you, Ray. That's great. That's great. Thank you for sharing. That's very true. Just imagine growing up in a family, in a house where, okay, you as a wife, you love your husband, but you still love yourself. You as a husband, you love yourself and you still love your wife. Just imagine being that kind of family. Like even the society looking at this kind of family, I think everyone would be like, wow, look at this happy family. Do you think they're even going to get divorced? Do you think so? Because they know each other's value. They know how can we put our relation to move forward. Look at our baby growing up in a happy family. So Adrian, can you put the next slide?
And not only that,
Yes,
but it
Steve?
will
Raquel?
not only that, but it will also set the standards for the baby's future relationship, right? So now that the baby has seen what a healthy, good-looking relationship looks like, the probability of when that baby grows up that he has a healthy, loving relationship, or she has a healthy, loving relationship with herself and with her future husband or wife or whatever, like it's a lot higher. So it will cause an effect not only in that particular nuclear family, but in the families to come after that.
Thank you, Raquel. That's great. Adrian, can you press next? Yeah, now you can see here the arrows we had, they're very strong because we can see the girl know her worth, know her place in her family. And you can see the boy also know his place in the family, knows how to take care of his family. You can see that circle, like he looks happy, girl looks happy. Now they're both putting the love to their kid. And this baby, like how Raquel said, the baby is going to grow up in this kind of family, knowing that I'm loved, my family love each other, and just having that kind of self-love from a young age. I believe the baby is going to infect everyone with love. Everyone the baby will talk to, oh, mom and dad will just get that kind of love because the baby has seen it from the family. So if you're married, please try show yourself love so you can be able to give your partner also enough love, and not in a selfish way, in a good way, which you know this way is going to move your relationship forward. So this is why self-love is so important.
And if you think today a lot of relationships, maybe they have one baby, and it's very common to have one baby and separate, or have two and separate. I'm at school, and at the school I see a couple of families have like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kids. You know, they've got something going on. And I see a lot of families that just have one or two, you know. But my grandmother had like 7 miscarriages in a row before she started pumping out kids, you know. And back in the day, you know, the man and wife would, or the boy and girl would have to support each other and really rely on each other so much more. And, you know, the average child, what is called child death rate or mortality rates were really high. So they would have to really stick together, and they might pop out, you know, a few kids that die at a very young age. You know, before they pop out a stream of kids or something, where today's culture is maybe one child. Or I wonder if that's related, you know?
I would say once it's self-love, I think it doesn't matter how many people are in the family. If it's 7 people, I'm the only kid, but see the love I have. So I think it's all doesn't matter if it's 1 baby, 2 baby, 5 babies. I have cousins who are like 7 in their families, but you can see once parents love each other, once parents have this good connection, you can see baby, like from young age, baby learn. And I feel like it doesn't matter if the family is big family or a small family. Once you care and understand each other, you love yourself, mommy love herself, daddy love herself. I think that's a great way to show babies. So it doesn't matter how many babies you have.
Okay, the noise has stopped. Good.
Okay, great. So I'm going to ask, let's continue, Adrian, the next part. The next slide, not here, the next one. Next slide, next. Yes, so guys, I have this an amazing image about, go back, go back. So imagine, Adrian killed my vibe. So just, this is a self-love in action. Just look at the middle part. It says self-love. You can see up here we have take care of your body. This is how we can start putting self-love in action. How often do you take care of your body? Do you ever look at yourself in the mirror and just appreciate your body? Oh, every day you're complaining, oh, I'm fat. What can I do? My belly is huge. Oh, my nose is this way. Do you take time to just care for your body and appreciate your body? And this is self-love in action. So we can try to do these things to improve our self-love. And we have here, be mindful about your inner voice. Sometimes we have this voice inside our mind, but we tend to push them away, or just because we don't have enough trust in ourselves, we don't have enough belief in ourselves. So we tend to push this inner voice or not to listen to it. So if we be mindful and just relax and listen to your inner voice and connect with yourself, you'll be able to put self-love in action. And the next one is the interesting one. Drop toxic people.
Oh.
No, not Adrian cannot wait to see Winnie the Pooh. Okay, the next one say drop toxic people. You don't need all these kind of people who bring bad energy to you. You don't need this kind of negative people in your life. So know which person is good for you, which person you need to drop. And you need to understand all these kind of relationship. Not all relationship you can pursue. So understand yourself better, and it will be easy for you to know which kind of people you need to drop, which kind of people are just dragging you down. They make you sad every day. They make you cry. Try to drop all these kind of people. And say remove negative comparison. We often have this kind of comparison, maybe looking at someone, you know, you start compare your life to someone else's life. You compare your stage in life with another person, or you just look at your body, you compare with the other person. Appreciate yourself, know your place in this world, and you don't need to have this kind of worry. You don't need to compare. So just know that this world, it's your world, and you just need to appreciate yourself and remove this negative comparison, because once you remove them, you have a good idea of an amazing person you are. And the next one is say thank yourself. Just wake up in the mornings, tell your body thank you. Just imagine the things we make our body do: jogging, sleeping, so many things. But just take that time and appreciate yourself. Don't wait for someone to oh, you are always telling someone, oh, you're doing good, oh, great, thank you. But have you ever take time to just tell yourself thank you? So try to build this kind of habit, telling yourself thank you, and I think that will help you build more self-love. And it's a build positive affirmations. Just have this: I am grateful, I am awesome, I am enough. Just having this kind of positive thoughts in your mind, affirmations, and review them daily. Like you can stick them maybe in your mirror, just telling yourself how do you think you are, and just start them with I am amazing, I am great, I am wonderful, I am valuable, I am worthy. I think this will help you gain more self-love in yourself. And the last one, it says focus on yourself. Try to focus on yourself, not other people's life. Just have that connection with your inner self. Yeah. So Adrian, let's see the next interesting slide.
Okay, just 1 second. There seems to be, can anyone else hear something coming through?
Can you help me just look for one? Okay.
What did you say, Adrian?
Okay, just a second. Just a second, there's just a bit of interference coming through.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was rather loud.
Can you-
Oh, it's okay. We're back. Focus on take care of everybody. Okay.
Okay, let's move to the next one.
Now we're at Winnie Pooh.
Yes, Winnie the Pooh. Guys, just look at this picture. It say me as soon as I wake up. Just imagine Winnie the Pooh again. I'm coming back with my mirror. Hey, I'm still looking sexy. Just having that feeling, waking up and looking at yourself and appreciating yourself. Just look at her belly, yo. She's short, fat, but what? She loves herself. She knows she's still sexy. Do you think someone will come and tell her like, oh, look at your belly, it's so big? No one can do that because she already appreciates herself. So I think this is a great example of self-love, just appreciating yourself, knowing how you look and love yourself, knowing your place in this world. Like Winnie the Pooh, I think what goes on in my mind, her mind is like, I'm short, I'm fat, I have this big belly, but guess what? I'm still looking good. And do you think anyone can come and tell her, wow, you don't look good, you look so fat? But she already knows, and she has already accepted that. You look short, she already knows, and she has accepted that. So this is kind of how what self-love can bring, this kind of good energy to us. Us knowing ourselves, knowing our value is really great. Okay, Adrian, you can stop sharing for a moment. So guys, after looking this Winnie the Pooh, I would like to say, have you ever tried look at yourself in the mirror and just maybe say, I love you, or just talk to yourself? Have you ever tried to do this? Can you share?
Yes, I do. I have a huge mirror on the wall. I like to look at myself. There's a story I would like to share. So
Yes.
when I am doing modeling in Osaka, when I started to do the modeling, I also started my braces. I still have it for 4 years now. And before, when I was a girl, I totally try to compare my face to other people, and I feel not confident. But later on, my mom tells me that a girl's smile is the most beautiful thing in the world. And I remember that. And I decided to get my, to put on the brace, because if I waited later, it will get longer. Even if I just stepped in this modeling world, I still did it because I know that a smile is the most beautiful thing. So even if I have to breathe, I still keep smiling. And I don't know if you notice, if you experience this, when you encounter with some girls, some boys, and when they smile, you just feel the whole world is brightened, and you don't even know, like, I mean, criticize or judge if her face is beautiful, or boy, the face is beautiful. No, because it's all about the emotion that they give you, the feeling that give you. That's what I experienced.
Thank you. I think that's great. I think most of us, we experience the same thing. It's just that people have this kind of image in their mind when they hear self-love. They imagine someone hugging the tree. Oh, you hear someone getting married to themselves. Like all this kind of image like people have about self-love. So thank you for having this different side of self-love. Thank you. So I have a question for my fellow coaches here. I would like to ask, imagine a client come to you and they're struggling with self-love. From this knowledge we have just shared now, how do you think you can help this client? Like someone is struggling with self-love, maybe they don't love themselves. How do you think you're going to try and help them? Anyone have idea? Darko?
Yes, what I was thinking is to bring them self-awareness about themselves. I think that would be useful, and to point out how much is good to regarding self-love, to take a lot of self-care about themselves. That improves feelings.
Thank you,
That is what
Darko. Thank you. Ray, I think Ray had, you wanted to share something? Thank you. Yeah, it's okay. That's amazing.
Yes. I think there is a very important thing I would like to share is to, this is a method a friend of mine recommended me to do a week ago, and I tried it for 1 week. Every morning and every evening, just to say 30 sentences about the self-affirmation, about your gratitude for the world, about the advantages and the strength of yourself and achievements of yourself, and the beautiful things you can think about, and your future, how successful you are going to be in the future, the details, the feelings, everything. Just to say 30 positive sentences about yourself, about everything around you. And I think that this is energy inside you. When it grows, you can attract more people and more beautiful things. So I tried for a week. I think it is great. But your advice, I think, is also very good. I will try from tomorrow. Every morning, meet myself in the mirror and say, yes, I love you. Thank you. Some very positive words.
Thank you. Thank you. E, do you have an idea if a client come to you and they're struggling with self-love, how you can help them?
Well, my way is similar with Ray. I would ask the clients to take a paper or a notebook, just write down 100 things that she think or he thinks that is great about them, that person, them, herself or himself. Just write down 100 in 24 hours.
Thank you. Thank you. Adrian, do you have any idea how you can help if someone come to you like this?
Yeah, for obviously it depends a lot on the client. You know, if they have certain things they like to do or not do. But one thing I really like to do is to guide them back, like meditation, hypnosis, guide them back into the past and have them recall sometimes when they were a child and really happy. And some people actually really struggle to find that time. But just one client I had recently, Darko worked with her as well. We took her back and she was like on the beach in Europe with her family, and her voice just completely changed as she went back there. So we, you know, revivified the memory, brought in more senses, and, you know, her face really lit up. And when she was really there feeling all that love, then we kind of did like a submodalities check, or, you know, checking over her body, taking note of where it felt good and kind of basking in that goodness. And we went through about 3 different memories where she felt like so much love and bliss, you know, and it kind of, we didn't deliberately anchor it, but it kind of was deliberately kind of anchored. And, you know, ever since then, she's just felt more love. And if she doesn't feel love, I can just mention, has she been to the beach recently? And the smile comes back. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Does anyone have any other ways to help if someone comes to you and they say they're struggling with self-love? Does anyone want to share different methods from what you have heard? Okay. Marianne, yes?
Yeah, sorry, I'm with that video. I just came in home after rain. So how I found a way, I just started to think about people who I met in my life who wasn't look perfectly or acting perfectly, because mostly people, like, let's say, don't love themselves enough because they feel they are not good enough, and they have some something what everyone can see and so on. So let people try to remember when they met some people who wasn't look perfectly, act perfectly, but they was so self-loved that you don't even notice those things, and you still think, even though the people can have like overweight or something else, but you think they're cool, they're great. And I think when you will analyze, when you met the people like that and which impression they did, you start to understand that those small things are not important, and you still deserve love, and you're still great.
Oh, thank you, Marianne. Thank you. Thank you. I think that's very great. Thank you. Anyone? Priel?
Hi. I think I agree with almost what everyone has said. I've practiced almost all of them with some of my clients at some point, but what works really well is oftentimes when there are downs and you're feeling you need to get back into that game, writing down what makes you valuable and a wonderful person really helps. And having that list whenever you're having those constant downs to pull you back into the ups, to practice self-love.
Thank you. Thank you. So one last question, guys, or not last question, almost last question. I'm going to ask you guys, now we have this idea of what self-love is and what self-love can bring to our life with our friends, with family. What is your self-love language? I'll start with mine. Maybe you can get some idea. I would say I love to buy things for myself. I just love to have this me time where I meditate, just me alone, and just being quiet in this space. And also the mirror. I love talking to myself in the mirror. I just realized how even when I'm crying and I look at myself like, oh, I have to stop. So these are my self-love language. Does any of you guys have an idea, or what do you think now you can perform and practice self-love?
I would like to share. I
Yes,
have
Ray.
a to-do list. Okay, I have a to-do list, and there are some items, and each item is good for my self-love, self-improvement. So I do it every day, like sleep early, have good sleep and healthy food, do exercise, running, reading good books, things like that. And like you said, job toxic people is also very important. And to learn the greatest people in the human history or in the world, to learn something from them and put it in your own life. I just some practice. You can do some positive tasks to complete the tasks every day, and you will find yourself getting better and better. This is what I share with you.
Thank you. That's amazing self-love language. Raquel?
I would say that I do my morning routine and my evening routine, where I do like my affirmations and I drink my coffee in the morning, and then the evening where I just like FaceTime my family and just like go on the shower, do my skincare, like just to quiet myself down. And that would be for me sorry, that would be for me my version of self-love, is taking the morning and the evening to start my day and end my day on my terms, doing what I want.
Thank you. Anyone would like to share with us self-love language? We can all get some ideas.
Yeah, I love, Ray mentioned reading. I'll take a book and instead of home, I might sit somewhere, spoil myself half an hour with a book, coffee. I might have something on, screw it. I'm reading a book.
Great.
For me-
Anyone else? Yes, Yi?
For me, it's going to nature. I need to smell, breathing the air from the nature and be close to rivers and ocean. I totally can connect it to the power of nature. That's how I do self-love. And there's one thing that I want to do more in future is to do more, create more, because I'm an extra person, extrovert. My strength is input. I like reading books. I like to learn things. I like the information, input. Why I like to do this, I think, is just a recent realization. I think I'm not enough. That's why I want to learn more. I want to be better because I think I'm not enough. And you always doubt about, am I really valuable? How valuable I am. So by doing more, create more, and put out the value out to help people and see the feedback that, oh, I really can do this and people get benefit from this, that I can feel I'm valuable and I can feel that I really love myself because I'm valuable.
Thank you, Yi. Anyone? Yes, Darko?
I love myself when I acknowledge the activities I'm taking during the day. And I love time I take for relaxation. When I have two things done, I'm good. I love myself.
Good. Darko, do you care to share what activities?
Oh, I'm doing a lot of different activities, but what I'm used to take, I have done nothing, but I have done a bunch of things. So that is when I acknowledge what I have done, that is okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Pierre?
My idea of self-love is very different, actually. I like to take a whole day off once in a while and drink wine. That's how I practice self-love.
That's amazing.
And I schedule those days once when I know I'm going to hit my peak and I really would need some time off. So schedule it with friends and family.
Thank you, Priyo. That's amazing. Anyone else would like to share how they practice self-love or they're going to practice self-love? Okay, Adrian, can you share the slide? Guys, I just have some few examples of how we can perform self-love for those who have no idea. So this is some of the few self-love language you're going to see here. Next. Yeah, so we can see we have affirmations, service, gifts, time, touch. Do you guys want me to read them? I think you can just have a look or take a screenshot and you can read later. I think this is some ideas you can get of how to get yourself to love yourself more. I think they're very great if you read them and they can give you some ideas. Adrian, can we see the next slide?
This one?
Next. Yes.
This one.
Yes. So guys, I have an amazing challenge. I'd love all of you to take part of it, and maybe you can tell me how it went. You can tell Adrian, I did this and I would love to do it again. So it's a 7-day self-love challenge. You can take a screenshot and try it later. Just try and do this and see how you feel after 7 days. Do you still feel like you don't love yourself enough, or you still feel you're not important? So we have day 1 to day 7. Tomorrow is Monday, so let's get to it, guys. So I hope everyone can try this and give me some feedback. So yeah, Adrian, end of sharing.
And sharing.
Yeah, thank you guys. I hope you had an awesome time. Now, before we close, I would just like to ask you guys, now you have this idea of self-love. You know how you can love yourself. What do you think you're going to do different now? Now you have idea what self-love is. You know how you can love yourself better. You know why self-love is important. Now, what do you think you're going to do different? For me, I'm going to start the challenge tomorrow for the next 7 days and improve. I love myself already, but I'm going to fall in love with myself for the next 7 days more and more. So how about you guys? Now you know what self-love is and have idea. What are you going to do different? Ray?
I'm going to meet myself in the mirror. I think this is the first thing I do of the day, to just appreciate myself and to say anything, the more the better about myself before I go to work. And you just meet the person in the mirror and you really enjoy being together with him, because this is the person. This is the only person in the world to spend the whole lifetime with yourself. So you have to love that person and really enjoy being with that person at any time, any place. So I think this is the change I will do every morning, meet myself and thank myself, support myself.
Thank you, Ray. Marianne? Yes, Marianne?
Yes, I'm definitely gonna make this challenge. And I also remembered about one thing which always helped me when I felt down about myself. I stopped caring about myself. One thing is I'm paying attention about my plans. If it's my spare time and my friends are calling me to somewhere or I'm going to do something, I start to listen to myself and I stop to do things which I'm just okay with. I do what I really want. For example, my friends are going out and they're calling me and like, I don't mind. Okay, it's fine. Let's go. So at this moment, I'm starting to think carefully about like, is it really what I want? So I do things which I only really want to do. Like if I really want to go and socialize, I will go. If I'm just okay with that,
Marianne, you're muted.
Oh, sorry, when it stopped.
You were just saying about when your friends ask you about going out, you would kind of stop and ask yourself and think it's...
Yeah, okay, got it. So when my friends asking me out, for example, I'm thinking if I'm just okay with it, like, okay, it's fun, let's go. Or is it really what I want? And I'm starting to do things which I really only want to do. If I'm just okay with that, I don't do that. I ask myself, what will bring me the biggest joy right now? What should I do? And they help me back to myself. And I feel great after that. When I go like this few days, I back on the track. Like that.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you. Anyone would like to share what they're going to be doing different? Yes, Darko?
I will go to this challenge for sure. And also because I like a lot of writing. I will write these suggestions, maybe store affirmations, which 100, 100 affirmations, which are putting me to the state of self-love. That is very useful for me.
Yes, in 24 hours. You say in 24 hours you have to finish the list. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Anyone would like to share? Adrian, what are you going to do different?
Yeah, so go for E. I'll go up straight after E. She's about to share. Izan.
Yeah, I will do the same actually. Not 24 hours, 100. When I say that is when that person is really down, that not believing himself or herself, then I will say 100 in 24 hours, intense. But if we already have that some level of self-love, for me, I will do it consistently every day for at least 7 sentences every day. Don't make it too hard, and in that case you cannot really keep going. At least seven sentences every day. Write down 7 sentences and I'll also read what you wrote in the last day. This is one thing. Another thing is, like I said, do more, create more, focus on what I can do, not what I cannot do. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. Focusing on what we can do, not what we cannot do. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Adrian?
Yeah, I was thinking about the meditation. I love you, thank you. I love you, thank you. Really, really beautiful. You know, it's if anyone's seen it, it's like the Ho'oponopono meditation, but it's just half of it. And I was doing the Ho'oponopono, and I figured that the last half wasn't doing anything. The last half, the first half, I love you, thank you, was more powerful. So that was really, really wonderful. And just when you mentioned it, Dee, I was doing it a few times. Just felt so good. It was lovely. But what I'm considering doing, and I've done this a couple of times, is I press the record button and I can say whatever I want, like, you know, I love you, you're amazing, you're the best trainer, you're a super coach, you can make miracles, you know, you can say whatever you want in a relaxed, calm manner and record it for maybe 30 seconds or even a minute or two. And then I found you could play it back and loop it and hear yourself saying it all and play it for maybe half an hour as you're going to bed. It's pretty amazing. Like really, I've done it a few times and just really changed stuff fast. Just record it, replay it. So yeah, I'm thinking about that at the moment.
Adrian, you just remind me. You just make me think about a very good birthday gift to someone. For me, I'm an extrovert person. If I hear someone else tell me all this, I will feel really powerful. So I'm thinking if someone's birthday, just collect everyone she or him knows, all the friends, and just record everyone's voice about what they like or love about this person, and make it a long record and give it to that person and let him or her to play it every morning.
And by the way, if there's any married women out there, what you could do, or for your boyfriends, you could record, I'm sorry, I was wrong. You were right. I love you. Give that to him on loop and see what happens. He'll go to heaven.
Yeah, thank you, Adrian, for the tips. We're going to do that. We're all going to start practicing that.
All right, I'm sure us guys, right, we will do it for the women, and we'll be like, yes, honey, you were right. You're always right. We're wrong. I'm sorry.
Adrian, do you remember what Tony always tell people what to say? I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me. Something like that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you.
Yeah, that one.
It's Hopono. It's a Hawaiian thing.
Okay, guys, thank you for joining us today, for joining me, and you guys are awesome, and I hope you're going to practice more self-love. You're going to love yourself, and you're going to build strong relationship with your family, friend, boyfriend, husband, everyone. Love yourself, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Didi.
Thank you, Dee.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dee.
If you guys aren't in it already, you can just ask Estrelita. There's like a Motivate group, and Dee's in there. And Dee, I saw your email in there. Can you write your WeChat in the Zoom code as well?
You mean my WeChat here?
No, Dee will share hers. Dee will share hers. So if anyone doesn't have Dee already, you can add her. You can also ask Estrelita.
Okay, you can talk to me through WeChat.
Thank you for a wonderful session. Okay, Dee, thank you for an absolutely fantastic session.
Thank you.
And we're going to practice that because this is a fundamental thing that everybody should be doing, whether you're a coach, a mental therapist, or a parent, or just a soon-to-be excellent person. And Priyal, you're up next week. You're going to be talking emotional intelligence.
Priya is leaving.
Yeah, I actually have another meeting in 5 minutes, but yes, I'm up next week and I'll be talking about emotional intelligence and how we can practice it in our daily lives.
Lovely.
Thank you, Dee, for the wonderful session. You were great.
5 minutes early.
Thank you for joining in.
Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night, Priya.
Bye, Priya.
Bye, Priya. Okay, a couple have jumped off. Again, good timing. Yeah, I totally underestimated that. I totally underestimated self-love. I'm sure it's like women seem to be more in tune to it than men.
Yeah, so Ray, Adrian, please guys, Darko, start practicing more self-love.
Of course.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing this topic. It was very useful, at least for myself.
Yeah, it's true what Adrian said. Most people just when they hear self-love, oh, women love themselves, women care about themselves. But I think also it's also important for men to also start practicing more self-love. and also not just giving in without giving yourself. You just give, and you forget about yourself. So yeah, good, Adrian.
But I wouldn't necessarily like write it on my marketing material. If my clients see self-love, my typical clients would be a bit like, so a lot of our work will be self-love, but I wouldn't, you know, I don't put that on my flyers. You know, I'm more likely to put something.
What will you put in your flyer?
Something, you know, resilience or powering on or being a, you know, making money or something, you know. But it's totally self-love. No, not all of it, but a fair portion of it. If we help our clients get self-love, you know, that changes everything.